By default, building lean muscle tissue is hard, but what will make it harder is making these common mistakes that I see regularly made in the gym. And I can assure you that if you avoid making these common mistakes, you'll see great results not only in your physique, but also in your performance. In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 critical training mistakes and how to avoid them. So if you're the sort of person that wants to optimize your training so you can reach your goals, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. So the first mistake that I want to address is something that I've seen throughout my training career in all different types of gyms in different countries, and that is using too large weight increments. For some reason, it seems people only feel accomplished when they have increased the weight by 5 kgs or more. The problem with this approach is you haven't given your body enough time to adapt to the new load. And what normally happens at this point is people start to lose form, they lower the reps, they grab a spotter who probably doesn't know what they're doing, or they reach a plateau that they just cannot break. It appears that people seem to forget that an increase of 1.25 is still an increase. I consider small increments as a cheat code to the overload principle, as small increments allow me to continue to progress or increase the load over a longer period of time. The other thing about using smaller increments is if you find the sweet spot between being small enough that your body barely feels it, but it's still being an increment, you're in a great place because you can continue to progress without your body even notice. It's almost like you're tricking your body that you were lifting the same amount of weight, but technically it's heavier. Although this approach is going to take a longer time, it will yield great results. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. Now for the second mistake, for the most part, people only consider the amount of weight that you are lifting when you're thinking about the overload principle. One factor that I don't think about, which I would say is almost just as important, are your rest times. What you generally will see with people in the gym when they're lifting heavy is they will also increase their rest time, which is fine providing this is consistent throughout your session. There's no point of having longer rest sessions during your heavy lifts if you're not going to use the same rest time during your lighter lifts. As humans, we are evolutionary creatures, meaning that we adapt to the pressures that our bodies are placed under. By keeping all the variables the same during our sessions, including rest times, but only changing the way means that we truly had to work harder to complete the set. We wasn't relying on the increased rest time or any other variables in order to lift the heavier weight during this set. The way I tend to get around this personally is I use my watch, which will buzz when my rest time is over. Most fitness apps these days will also include a rest time, so you can use that, or just use a good old-fashioned clock on the wall. It doesn't matter what method you use. What I will say though is try and keep it consistent, use the same method and something that works for you. Now the third mistake I see people making in the gym is not taking your warm-up seriously. As someone that has personally been working out for many years, I do understand from a young person's perspective, warming up seems like a waste of time. However, I would argue that it's just as important, if not more important, to start doing that when you're young. Not only will it reduce the risk of injury, it will also make you more prepared for your working sets. And over a period of time, being able to lift that little bit extra because you've warmed up properly will lead to great results. What you normally see people in the gym is they don't really take their warm-up sets seriously and they almost half-heartedly complete them. Or the other thing is people will just jump straight into a working set without preparing, without doing a warm-up sets, or have terrible form, or only complete a very few amount of reps. Personally, my warm-up sets don't only make me prepared physically, but they also make me prepared mentally. It's an opportunity for me to practice the movement, it's an opportunity for me to get in the right mindset and also to get in the zone to crush the working sets. I heard this the other day and I think it's so true, but don't forget to respect every rep. Mistake number 4, it's something quite personal to me because it's a mistake I made for many years, and that is not checking your form. Remember, a breakdown in your form will stunt your progression. So I highly recommend every now and again you check your form. Everyone has a high definition camera on their phone these days, so there's no excuse. Get out your comfort zone, get a small tripod and record yourself during your sets so you can analyze your form and make the necessary changes. And I promise this will optimize your training and yield great results. And lastly, the 5th mistake I see many people making in the gym is not following a structured program. I would argue that this is the main reason that many people who participate in regular exercise and go to gym regularly fail to see progression or fail to reach their goals. You'll commonly see people walk into the gym, lift a weight, do a couple of sets, and then move on when they get bored. Now the reason why this is so problematic and going to get in the way of your progression is because you're not providing your muscles with enough stimulus to adapt or to make the changes that you want so you can progress or meet your goals. Remember, muscle building is a slow process. It takes between 3 to 8 weeks to build any lean muscle tissue. That's obviously depending on your hormone profile and your age. Therefore, to provoke any change through your training, you need to provide the muscle that you're targeting 3 to 8 weeks of stimulus, incorporating the overload principle to produce lean muscle tissue. Simply put, if you fail to do this, you just haven't provided your muscles with enough stimulus to change, in which case you're not going to progress or meet your goals. I know this is going to sound cliche, but the truth of the matter is, no matter what type of training you're doing, whether that's for long distance running, sprinting, bodybuilding, powerlifting, consistency is the key. And there you have it. They are the 5 mistakes that I commonly see people making in the gym. I want you to avoid so you can continue making your progression and crushing your goals. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on post notifications so that you know when I've uploaded a video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Till then, peace.